So imagine you got a big event tonight. You're going to wear a necktie. So you go in and try on your best looking dress shirt, and guess what? It doesn't fit in the neck. Seriously, you can button it, but you're going to end up strangling yourself if you do. Now, gents, I get it. You didn't gain any weight. Definitely that shirt collar shrank.
I'm in denial.
In any case, we got a situation here because you need a shirt that fits.
Yep.
So what are your options? Well, you could wear that larger, oversized shirt that doesn't look nearly as good. Or you can leverage hack number 1, which is to cut off that button collar and move it 3/4 of an inch, giving yourself some needed breathing room. Now note this hack does have limitations. Notice I said 3/4 of an inch because on most normal sized collars, that's about the max amount you can move the button without it starting to look strange. Now in an ideal world, a perfect fitting collar is going to allow 2 fingers between your neck and the collar when buttoned. But in this situation, if you can button it up and it doesn't make your face turn red, or you can get 1 finger in there, we're going to be fine. Now you will see collar extenders out there. Avoid the plastic ones. I've used them. They break too easily. Go with a metal one if you can find it. But I know in most situations, guys just don't have time to find these tools. So this next hack is about making your t-shirt look amazing even if you're a skinny guy, and that is adjusting the sleeves. So many guys, when they go out there and they buy a t-shirt, yes, it fits them okay in the torso, but the sleeves are either too long, too large, or both. So know that you can actually adjust these. Now, I've got a quick tutorial right here that you can see as we go through and you adjust the sleeves yourself. I'll link to it down in the description, but if that's too much for you, simply take that t-shirt to a seamstress. For a few bucks, she'll be able to get this fixed looking great for you. And if you've got a really trim or short torso, guess what? They can bring in the t-shirt, they can shorten the length so that you get the perfect fit. And again, it's going to make those t-shirts look amazing. Now, before I get into this next hack, let me ask, have you ever seen anyone wearing a pair of jeans that are too long for them? And they've probably been wearing these now for a couple months, and what happens? All of a sudden, they have loose fabric that is just hanging behind them when they're walking. It looks horrible. So then let me ask, do you have a pair of jeans? Do you have a pair of trousers which are just a bit too long in the legs? If that's the case, you can actually fix these in a matter of seconds using hemming tape. The way iron-on hemming tape works is you fold the trousers in on themselves at the bottom with that hemming tape right there between the material. You then use heat and it fuses it together for a perfect hold. Now, if you want to get the original look with the stitching or you want to reinforce it, yes, you are going to need to use a sewing machine. But in a pinch, if you just want to use the iron-on hemming tape, boom, you can get the job done, and it's going to look better than trousers that are too long. Now, speaking of adjusting pants, if you've got an extra 1 to 2 inches of room in the waist area, did you know that you could create a cinch waist and eliminate that excess space? The way it works is in the back of the trousers, over a 10-inch area, you're going to open up a slit on each side. Then you're going to run an elastic between the waistband, and you're going to allow it to basically cinch up the back of the trousers. Now, this does require a bit of sewing, an elastic band, and I think if you want to do it right, it's probably best to take it to a professional. That being said, if your pants are a little bit too large, why not wear a belt, right? And gents, if you're looking for the best belts on the market, you need to check out my friends over at Anson Belt and Buckle, the sponsor of today's video. Now, gents, I've been talking about Anson Belt and Buckle for over a decade. Way before they were a sponsor, I knew the owners and I loved what they were doing. Most belts, if you don't know, you've got a 1-inch space between the holes. Guess what? It's either going to be too tight or too loose. You rarely ever get the perfect fit. That's why I love the micro adjust system. To 1/4 of an inch, you can adjust the belt so you get a perfect fit every time. Next up, let's talk about Anson's belt systems. So guess what? You see 3 straps, you see 3 buckles. How many combinations? No, not 3, 9, because every strap works with every buckle. So you just go in there and find the buckles you like. You go in there and you find the straps you like. You can put together your own kit and have as many combinations as you want. And let's talk about their customer service. So this is a story one of you guys sent me years ago talking about how you bought an Anson belt and buckle and you cut it a little bit too short. Because the way it works is they send you a really long strap. So if you got a 16-inch waist, if you've got a 48-inch waist, this thing is going to fit you. Just need to cut it properly. They explain it's really simple, but this guy, a little bit aggressive, and he cut it too short. So he reached out to Anson Belt and Buckle, explained the situation, and said, hey, I was willing to pay for a new strap. Guess what? They sent me a new one free, no cost. Why? Because they treat customers like family. And I also love how they are always innovating. So if you haven't checked out their Invincibelt collection, these are waterproof, scratch-proof, wear-resistant, antibacterial, non-color transferring belts. These are really tough, great belts for the guy that's going to throw his belt, through a lot of wear and tear. Now, gents, for a limited time, they got some amazing deals over at Anson Belt and Buckle. I'm going to link to them down in the description of today's video. My favorite one is the box set. You can either choose 3 straps, 2 buckles, or 3 buckles, 2 straps. It's going to be 6 combinations. Guys, this box set is the best deal on the website. That being said, if you just want to start with 1 belt, 1 buckle, definitely they've got that for you. But yeah, go check them out. Use that link and go over to Anson Belt and Buckle. Now, this next hack can save you a lot of money, and that is you're going to learn how to stretch your dress shoes. We're talking shoes made from leather here because leather is pliable. Leather is something that can stretch and adjust, but sometimes it feels like it gets a little bit smaller. Maybe you've got a hot spot. Well, guess what? Put the shoes on and then use a hair dryer, or more preferred, a heat gun. Now with a heat gun, make sure to keep it from a distance because that can get hot really quick and you don't want to damage the shoes, but that right there can very quickly help the leather stretch. That being said, if you want to do it overnight, one tip I've heard, and this is really good if you want to increase the size of the shoes by half a size, is to put a water bag, basically take a couple Ziplocs, put water in them, and then make sure they fill up the toe area of the shoe. Then put them in the freezer overnight and they will expand out and stretch. Now you may have to do this a couple times, but you can increase the width of the shoe and the length just a bit. And what are we talking here? It can mean the difference between shoes that are incredibly uncomfortable and shoes that fit perfectly. Now, we started this video off talking about getting the proper fit in the collar with the dress shirt, but what about the rest of the dress shirt, especially in the body when it's incredibly baggy? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You've got 8 inches of excess material. What can you do? Throw the shirt away? Can you salvage it? No, you can actually add darts to the back. What are darts? This is where the fabric is folded in on itself. Now, again, this is something you can actually use hem tape for, or you can take a sewing machine and do it yourself. It's very simple. In fact, just practice on a shirt that, yeah, you throw away, and you'll see after one practice, it's very easy to do. Or simply take it to a tailor or seamstress. It's going to cost you maybe $10, and all of a sudden, you're going to be able to salvage that shirt. It's going to look so much better when you bring in 2 to 3 inches of material in the torso area, especially if you spend time in the gym taking care of yourself. You want to be able to show that off with a shirt that fits your body. Now, what if you don't got time for that? Seriously, you got 30 minutes till the event and you've got 6 to 8 inches of excess material around the waist area. What are you going to do? Guys, check out the navy tuck. I love this because right here on the side, you're going to go in and tuck away 2 inches of material. And a big hack on this is actually to tuck it into your underwear. The elastic right there is going to help keep it in place. And again, with the trousers, with the belt, make sure it fits you properly there. You may have to do it a couple times throughout the night. Just take the thumbs and retuck it. But this right here is going to make the shirt look so much better than having that excess material all over the place. Now, what about sweaters? What if you got one that's oversized, a little bit too big? There's a couple hacks here. One is you can fold the sweater up. So sometimes people just wear the sweater straight down, or worse, they tuck it into their pants. Don't do that. Instead, fold the sweater up. And it's not, it's not as great as a perfect fitting sweater, but it's much better than having that sweater go down past the buttocks. Now, what if the sweater's a bit long in the sleeve? Now, this sweater for me is actually a perfect fit, but if it was a bit long, you could simply fold it over like this, or even fold it in on itself. Really take a look, see which one you like, go with that one. But I find that one little trick right there can eliminate just all that excess bunching that you would get on the sleeve. Now, what if the sweater's overly large in the torso area, in the chest, in the waist? Well, it is something you can fold it in on itself and sew it, basically stitch it together on the inside. You don't want to cut the material. You want to leave it as it is because it's a knit and it would fall apart. That being said, it is something, it's never going to look perfect, but it is something that you can hide a lot of that excess material, again, by tucking it in on itself. The next hack to getting the fit right on your clothing, know the name of your tailor. I've said this in videos hundreds of times, but if you've got a relationship with a tailor, guess what? You can drop it off in the morning. That afternoon, they'll have it adjusted. A lot of these adjustments literally take minutes. That being said, these are oftentimes busy people. They've got to want to schedule things out. But if you know the name of your tailor, you've got a relationship with them, you're going to know what the price is. You're going to know, okay, I can drop this off. These trousers, which are just too baggy in the legs, I've got it looks like diaper butt syndrome here. Guess what? She can take it in. He can actually adjust it. All of a sudden, you've got a great pair of trousers done within a matter of hours. And this next hack isn't actually a hack at all. It's a skill I think every guy should have, and that is know the basics of sewing. Seriously, Rambo was able to sew, clothing together and himself together in a situation. So guys, if you want some basic tutorials on how to, make your jeans fit better, how to make your shirts fit better, t-shirts, I've got you covered in this video right here. Actually, is going to lead to a playlist of videos that you can go through and you can get basic skills, great videos. I'm going to link to them also down in the description. And make sure to go check out today's sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle. Awesome company, proud to support them.